Hey everybody, it's Saturday night and a window of opportunity has presented itself for some cheeky beer drinking in the shed. I've been getting some fantastic beer mail recently, so I thought I'd get stuck into that and video me tasting a few of the beers for your viewing pleasure. So yeah, let's get into them. So as I said, I've been getting quite a bit of beer mail recently. I've also just received yesterday the Smash Off beers, which are in the fridge chilling. So I really need to make a bit of progress through some of these to clear a bit of room in the fridge. Tonight I thought I would do a little New England IPA theme because I've actually got enough beers to select some of them on the basis of style now, which is good. And this evening's offerings are coming courtesy of Matthew Calaby, Happy Cat Brewing, although this one has apparently morphed into an IPA, although it was supposed to be a New England IPA at the start. John Anderson, Abbey Homebrew, just got this one today, so that's about as fresh as you can get. And also received today was Timmy Jenkins, Hazy Days Brewery. Most of you will have heard of his beers by now. Citra and Azaka, New England IPA. You know it's going to be good. As I'm sure they all will. So, fancy glassware is at hand. Let's start with Mr. Calaby's because I have had this for a little while and yeah, it's the weakest of the three, I think. And as I said, it is a little bit older and it has kind of cleared down, so it's not actually really a New England IPA as he's put on the front. So IPA was meant to be a New England IPA. It's got recipe details on the side, so we've got Apollo for bittering, Amarillo and Citra, also Mosaic and Galaxy in Whirlpool, dry hopped with Amarillo, Citra, Mosaic, Galaxy again, and the same for the second dry hop. So plenty of hoppage in there. It's Vermont ale yeast, Golden Promise, wheat malt, flaked oats and carapils. Sound beautiful. Let's get it into the glass. Love these labels that Mr. Calaby does for these beers, and it's really cool having all the recipe information on the side there as well. Definitely more exciting than the labelling that I put on my ones. So as he said, it's definitely not got the haze, because it looks like the yeast and everything else has absolutely dropped out of this completely. But appearance wise it actually looks really nice, so lovely crystal clear clarity. There's a really nice aroma coming off of it as well, quite sweet, orangey, citrus rind, kind of almost like a candy like thing. There's kind of a smells a little bit like sort of juicy fruit gum or something. Lovely head on it. Let's get stuck in. Yeah, it definitely drinks like more of a traditional kind of West Coast IPA, although the bitterness is still quite subdued, so it's I'd say it's kind of got, it's sort of halfway between the bitterness of a normal IPA and a New England IPA. I think IBUs on here are 36. I think the longer you do leave New England IPAs, the more that kind of bitterness maybe tends to come through sometimes. There's definitely a nice, if you've brewed with Golden Promise before, you'll know that kind of real sweet, kind of light, bready kind of malt character that you get from it, which I'm kind of getting in this, which is very nice. It works really well in IPAs and New England IPAs as well. That is very, very drinkable, and yeah, I'm enjoying that a lot. Thank you very much, Mr. Calaby. That is a lovely beer, even though it didn't necessarily turn out quite as you wanted in terms of the New England IPA style. I wouldn't be too upset about that at all, because it's still a really good smashable IPA. I could have several of those of an evening easily. Right, next beer please. So we've got Timmy Jenkins, just going in order of strength really on these, so 6%. Citra and Azacca, everybody knows Citra hops. Pretty much a foolproof option when it comes to these sorts of beers. Azacca, I think I might have done I do a hop review video at some point for Azacca. I might have done. If I did, I'll put a link to it up the top. But they're a kind of slightly, from what I remember, kind of lighter flavour profile, but still some kind of nice sort of tropical notes in there. If I remember rightly, there was maybe a bit of, I got a bit of pineapple from them and that sort of thing. But anyway, that doesn't matter, because I want to see what Timmy's done with them. So, as expected, coming out of the bottle looking as murky as you could ever want one of these beers to be. It's, I don't know how the colour is showing up on the camera there, but it's quite a pale, not, how do I describe this? So it's not as bright as sort of orange juice. It's more of a, I don't know what word to use to describe that colour, but just a very pale, kind of opaque, almost like a pastel-y kind of straw colour. That's a shit description, isn't it? But never mind. Anyway, nice bit of head on it. Yeah, can't see anything through that, even at the thinner parts of the glass. Aroma, juicy, surprisingly enough. Yeah, Citra's definitely in there. It's not as pungent as some of the other New England IPAs that Timmy has sent, but it smells really nice. Maybe a bit peachy, bit of pineapple on there. Yeah, citrus fruits as per usual. Let's have a taste. Cheers, Timmy. So yeah, on the flavour with that, body wise, it's got quite a very smooth, silky kind of mouthfeel to it. Not too thick and heavy, but definitely quite a bit of body. There's a real nice kind of zing to this flavour wise. So yeah, more of a kind of fruit juice flavour than there was on the aroma, I think. Yeah, almost like a kind of breakfast juice type sort of zinginess to it with a citrus, and just enough bitterness at the end to keep it from being too sweet. Very nice. It's a Timmy Jenkins New England IPA, you know, as good, if not better, than most commercial examples that you would see if you're into this style of beer. Of course, some people don't dig them, but trust me, if you most people who are unconvinced, if you tried some of Timmy's beer, you'd probably change your mind. Man knows how to murk. So let's draw that one to a close. Don't think I've got anything else to say about that other than it's very nice. So again, thank you very much. Cheers, Timmy. You keep brewing them, I'll keep drinking them, mate. Thank you. Right, well, I'd sculled those last two pretty quick, so this 8.3% one from Mr. Anderson is probably going to seal the fucking deal for this evening. But let's get into it anyway. So, bottle opener malfunction there, or possibly user error. Into the glass. Now, this was fermented, as many of John's beers are, with Quake yeast, and I think initially he was none too pleased with the results, but being a Quake beer, he was drinking it after about 2 or 3 days, I think, from brewing it, or something silly in terms of the turnaround time, because yeah, I mean, with that yeast, you can get it into the keg and be serving it pretty quick. But as time has gone on, he has, I think, changed his opinion of this and thought that it's come out a lot closer to what he intended, rather than just being very, very bitter and boozy. So I think one of the main complaints that John had initially was that it was very strong alcohol flavour on it. But yeah, hopefully it's improved, because I think he was saying that it's a lot nicer now anyway. So definitely looks like a New England IPA. Absolutely opaque, pretty close actually in appearance to the one I just had from Timmy. Maybe slightly darker colour to it. Before, when I was saying that I couldn't quite think of the colour to describe it because it wasn't quite as bright as orange juice, this has got a similar thing. I think it's more like pineapple juice, where it's that just slightly lighter shade of orange or whatever, and not quite as bright or yellow looking. So it's a bit more like that. Touch darker than Timmy's, but otherwise very similar. Nice little cap on the top. Aroma wise, not a huge amount coming off of that, but it's definitely, quite hoppy. I don't know, can't remember if John said what actually went into this hops wise, but there's a little bit more of a I don't know, kind of a dank, slightly funky aroma to it. So that sort of smell that you sometimes get with mosaic hops. I don't want to say sweaty in an unpleasant way, but you know what I mean, that kind of slightly funky, dank aroma to it. Let's give it a taste, because I think I know what John was saying in terms of the booziness, because there is a bit of an alcohol flavour to that, but it's not it's definitely not like overpowering or anything on there. It's just got a little bit of a boozy kick to it. It's almost like there's a somebody's just chucked a little bit of extra vodka or something into it. Trying to sort of pick out what the different yeast is giving to this that you wouldn't have if you were using a more standard yeast is really difficult, because there's so much going on in terms of the flavour from the hops and everything else that's in there. But there's definitely something a bit different about it from your typical New England IPA. There's a touch more of a kind of very slight sort of herby note to it, but again, quite a kind of dank, definitely more of that slightly piney, dank kind of flavour to this one, as opposed to the previous one, rather than just the sort of pure kind of juice, fruity juice sort of flavours to it. But it's still going down really nicely, and yeah, that's a nice contrast to the other two beers actually. So thank you very much for that one, John. I need to slow down drinking this because I can feel the effects kicking in already. But yeah, a very enjoyable New England IPA Saturday. Thank you to the three of you who sent me those beer mails, and to everyone else whose beer mails I still have to drink. Got a bit of time off work for Easter, so I will be doing my best to plough through these and maybe do a few more review videos. And also there's the smash off videos to come up, so there'll probably be quite a lot of beer drinking going on the channel in the next week or so. So watch out for that. Sign off with a nice fruity belch there. So cheers, guys.
I'm the dude. So that's what you call me, that or his dudeness or duder or, El Duderino.